it's almost like encouraging people to make jokes against that community.
Yeah, but is it encouraging them to go hurt people? What's going on, y'all? Ground Motivate back in this thing again, man, with another video. And today we're checking out Apple and Preach once again. This time they're into it with a person of the T variety, of the LGBT variety, if you know what I mean. And the name of this video is She Called Us Out. Jokes Lead to Violence. It's Samantha Lux versus Dave Chappelle, man. And I don't like when people say this leads to violence. Oh, this leads to violence. Like, I just don't. Yeah, jokes lead to violence. I don't understand it. Like a lady was saying on the video I did about the trans MMA fighter.
Yeah.
That when you misgender people, it leads to violence. That doesn't make any sense. No, it don't. How? It's just a word. It doesn't lead to violence. It's just like I just said, oh, I just accidentally called you a man. Sorry.
No, it's one thing if you accidentally said something and you are actually apologetic. It's another thing if you were making fun of someone and think it's okay, be like, oh, it's just a joke, but you actually offend that person.
Okay.
Then it's
no,
like
I
verbal
offended
abuse.
them even if it was an accident. I offended them.
Then you gotta stop doing it. If you keep on doing it, that's not accidentally
Okay, but how does
offensive.
it lead to violence? Give me that.
That's verbal abuse. Verbal abuse is a form of violence.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like cyber bullying, is like campus bullying. Campus bullying can be both verbal and physical.
So would that mean that when any woman says some bullshit to a man and he hits her, was she violent?
Huh?
If you said verbal abuse is violence.
Yeah,
so
verbal.
if a woman says you ain't shit, you are broke, you are trash, your mom's ugly, your mom's a monkey,
They
all
sound
this
like
kind of shit.
they sound like facts. It's like if he's broke, then she's just stating out the fact. If he's ugly, she's stating out the fact. Verbal abuse is more like
No,
you're saying
we're not
something.
saying no. It's not a fact. It maybe be like maybe he's trying hard. He maybe makes $50,000 or $60,000 a year. She does whatever she does. She's calling him broke, saying all this because he couldn't get her the extra bag at the Herman store.
So if she's doing that, she is definitely verbally abusing him. But if he respond by punching her out, he's also physically abusing her. So they're just both trash people.
No, so you're saying that are you saying that the woman deserves to be hit because she's
No, I don't
verbal?
say she deserves to be
So
hit.
that's not violence then. How could it be violence?
What?
How
I'm
would it be
saying
violence?
verbal abuse is a form of violence. It's a form of abuse. It does not mean they deserve to be punched out. It just means that's something we should discourage.
No, I'm talking about violence, literal violence. Like
Yeah, there are two
violence.
types. Physical violence and verbal abuse. They're both
Not
types.
going for that.
No, but joke leads to violence. It means you think it's just a harmless joke, right? You laugh at someone, you mock someone. At school, you verbally abuse someone. Or on the internet, you laugh at someone. But that could seriously cause a damage to their life and their mental health. That is abuse. That is
So then
violence.
they go ahead and they self-delete. That counts as violence?
I just feel like abuse is a form of violence.
I don't know.
We're not playing the word game here.
I'm thinking of literal
Okay, let us know
violence.
what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think. I'm thinking of literal violence. She's thinking of another thing. Let's get it.
I know you guys wanted us to cover this, and some of y'all got upset. Just know, like, yo, we got lives, okay?
He is a straight man, not gay, not trans, none of the above, which I will say, I do think it would make a difference if he was gay or trans, you know what I mean? I feel like gay people can make jokes about gay people, trans people can make jokes about trans people.
Flame Monroe makes comedy about LGBTQ people, and she's getting flamed, no pun intended, all the time. So, people are gonna get offended no matter what.
I'm not people. I never said that I had a problem with Flame Monroe. Not all trans people think the same, that's fine. I was just giving my personal opinion that if you're trans, you can, make whatever jokes you want to make.
She's saying it's acceptable for Flame Monroe because she's a trans woman to make jokes about trans people irrespective of what they do, whether they reinforce negative stereotypes or not. That's what she's saying. So I want you guys to remember that, and we'll keep watching.
That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Whenever I hear this stuff where it's like, only black folks can make jokes about black folks, white folks can make jokes about white folks, and women can only make jokes about women, and men can make jokes. Really? Women can't make fun of men? But this whole thing, like, you can't make fun of other groups. Why? Why not? And also, to what degree do we want to do this? Should poor people only be able to make fun of poor people? Rich people, rich people?
No,
Americans, Americans?
poor people can make.
What do you think about that? Like, you can only make fun of the group that you belong to,
I mean, it's not realistic.
right?
Everybody makes fun of everybody on the low.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a point that you don't cross, but I think everybody just makes fun of everybody on the low.
Yeah, I mean, like, ideally, right, in the world we live in,
Yeah.
then we shouldn't be making fun of anyone.
Right.
But that's not the case here. And I think sometimes a joke can be like pretty innocent.
Yeah.
Right? It's like more like a stereotype.
Yeah.
But hopefully everyone knows where to draw the line where you get offensive. And also I think another thing is just because you're black does not mean you can make fun of black people as a whole. I don't think, or like as an Asian, I can make fun of Asian people as a whole because that can easily categorize you into the Carlton group if you overdo it.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, everything has a line.
I don't know, like, but I think about the jokes that Dave Chappelle was making, and I don't think that they were terrible. I think they were really like, he looks like a man or something like that. Like, and I bossed up her breasts or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't think it was terrible. The jokes weren't like, Kramer sitting up there calling black people the N-word. It's not the same. It wasn't the same as that to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was a terrible thing.
And I know he has like an Asian wife, right? So sometimes people probably feel like, oh, it's okay for him to make fun of Asian people. And I feel like, again, there's a line. It's like if the purpose of the joke is to make Asian people seem more approachable, because for a lot of people we're like a separate group.
Yeah.
If the joke makes us more approachable and feel like friendly, then that's okay. But if a joke makes us seem like silly and more like, like the Asian store owner stereotypical image, then hell no, we don't want that type of jokes. Because that's not true. The younger generation of Asian people are not like that anymore.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. All right.
He laughed at our bodies.
Look at that big chisel jawline, that big thick Joe Rogan neck.
He joked about how he's on Team TERF. Do you know what a TERF is?
TERF is an acronym. Stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminists. I'm Team TERF.
A TERF is a type of activist that focuses on how trans women are actually men and they're just pretending to hurt women. That's a funny thing to align with?
Alright, so the first joke about the chiseled jawline and everything, how sting did you feel that was? Was that anybody like, oh yeah, he had a big old head, he had a nappy head? Or, oh yeah, she had them small eyes, yeah, he had a small neck.
I think that's to be fair, I think even though it's true, but it's very similar to how like other races will laugh at Asian people for having eyes like this, or other races will say black people have like nose, like flat nose.
Yeah.
Right? All that crap. So it's like, yeah, it can be insulting sometimes.
Okay.
Because it's not something you can change, you know?
Yeah. It's not something you can change.
No, unless you do plastic surgery.
But they did a whole change.
No, but they are struggling because they identify themselves as a different gender. It's like they have something I know they have inner struggle, like I do sympathize for that because no one wants to be stuck in the inner struggle. So yeah. I
don't know. Anytime I'm looking into any of this, my brain immediately goes blender. Because everything is just so backwards and stuff. So yeah, I don't care. It's backwards to me.
It's just hard for someone like us because we don't have that struggle to understand what kind of struggle they're going through to make them decide to transition. Yeah. Because I'm not going through that, so I'm not gonna say like, yeah, I feel you,
right.
Because I don't.
Also, it's not a common thing. It wasn't a common thing when we were kids. This just became a common thing recently.
I mean, interracial dating weren't a common thing at your grandparents' age, so time changes.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to give us some time before we start really being nice to you.
Right.
But till then, chisel jawline.
What?
What do you think about the second joke, though?
What's the second joke?
The Team TERF.
I don't understand that.
Alright, let's get it. It's just basically saying, like, I guess it's like, well, you're not one of them, so you wouldn't know.
That's just like a joke?
Hey, man, listen. You want to do a joke and say you're on Team TERF, I got no problem. If you want to make a joke and say you're on Team KKK, you all got no problem. Go ahead. Make it funny. That's all. Hey, man, I'm not going to say nobody can not do anything. Do it. And even if it's unfunny, you know what I'm going to say? That was pretty...
I don't know if a joke about Team KKK would be funny. Let's be real.
Oh, it's so incorrect.
Somebody sat on the stage and was like, God. Man, he walked in the store and walked out with a pack of Skittles, man. I started going Team KKK. That wouldn't be funny. Yeah, I don't care who the guy is. I don't care if it's well, Joe Rogan ain't really funny to me, but Bill Burr or something. I don't care who said it. It wouldn't be funny to me.
Really?
That's
like
not really
funny. A black guy
funny.
saying it wouldn't be funny?
That would be a little bit more funny.
Yeah. Because he is very likely, he's more than likely, he's like 99.9% not going to be Team KKK.
Exactly.
But he's saying that because he's mocking them.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, but when if a white dude was to sit up there and say that would be offset.
But that's why Samantha is so offended because she knows for a fact that Dave Chappelle is not Team TERF. But he said that he's Team TERF. That's why she was offended.
Okay. All right, so
Because she felt like he was being sarcastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm kind of understanding a little bit on both sides right now. All right, this is getting there. I'm getting there. Yeah, maybe in about 10 years, y'all might have me up like, yeah, I might be nice. Let's get it.
Some of the most wild bits I ever heard were on topics that everyone thought could never be funny. Right? Take Louis C.K.'s bit on how good it feels to diddle kids. Right? And the whole premise, I'm not going to give it away. If you go watch it, it's one of his best bits ever.
That would be the funniest thing ever.
And suddenly, a woman walks into the men's room. And that's strange. And then she hikes her skirt up and pulls a real out.
Alright, so I just figured out what diddle means. It means the mole. I'm a grown man. I'm messing with a little girl. I'm moleing her. Yeah. So you think that would be a funny joke? You don't think that could be a funny joke?
No.
Like somebody like, yeah, man, I had this little girl come over the house, man. She was looking so dry. I wanted to hit her with the R. Kelly.
That's different. It's like, unless you have a tendency,
Yeah.
the P tendency,
Yeah.
you wouldn't joke like that.
Right. Could you imagine somebody made that joke I just made? Do you know what R. Kelly did? You don't?
R. Kelly?
Yeah.
This name sounds very
He
familiar.
gave little girls golden showers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How old?
They were like in their teens.
But how did he force him?
No, he didn't force them. They just like were around because their parents were idiots and sent them over there. But at the same time, he was like, yeah, bring your little girls.
Is R. Kelly famous?
Yeah. He went to prison, so he's probably in there famous with his booty getting busted out with. Now, yeah. But how do you think he would take that? Man, she came in so dry after not drinking no water. I wanted to goddamn hit her with an R. Kelly. How do you think people would take that?
No, like first of all, my kids are not going anywhere near you.
Yeah.
And second of all,
Even if I'm a top comedian, I'm Dave Chappelle, I say some shit like that.
no.
Okay.
Like people gonna start digging into your history and
Yeah.
see if you actually abused or offended.
So to a degree, jokes do need a little censorship then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meaty dick out.
You know what's funny about this sentence? Because I can be as progressive as I want, right? I can be, right? All for gay rights and other stuff. I'm with that. However, when we are passing legislation to fight sodomy and homosexuality, there is something that will never see the light of day in Uganda. Eh? We have discovered that homosexuals are trying to eat the poo-poo of other men. And we have to ask ourselves, is this what Barack Obama wants to bring to our country? Absolutely homophobic. Fucking hilarious.
That? Yeah, that's that Why Are You a Gay video.
Even in a lot of darkness, you can find a lot of humor in there.
Good game.
Go ahead.
If you just switch the joke
Uh,
and imagine a dude, like a frail dude, walking in the bathroom and he's at the urinal stall,
yes.
right? Imagine some tiny dude like Andy Dick, no pun intended. And he's like, yo, and this black guy pulled up to me and he was the same size as me. But he's pulled out his big, huge, meaty dick. And I was like, what the fuck? It could have been funny.
Or what would have been funnier if he had pulled out a micro penis.
I was thinking about that.
Buff dude looking like he's coming from a set. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like Blackzilla, okay? Timberlands, knee pads, everything, ready for a porno. Shows up and pulls out a micro penis. Are we laughing at his body? Undoubtedly. There's an absurdity there between the expectation of what we have and what we're seeing. That is funny to people. Now, of course, what I personally have an issue with.
I don't think he has to defend that joke because I think it's actually a funny one.
That's
So,
why
yeah.
he's very justified.
I agree with him there.
I like how he said like the reason why we're laughing at the
Yeah.
joke is not because we're laughing at T-gender people.
Yeah.
It's because we're laughing at the expectation versus reality, and there's
Yeah.
a huge gap in between.
Right.
They're like, oh.
Right. So it's like, like when somebody's saying they're a woman and you see a strong chiseled jawline, or somebody's saying they're a woman and they pull that thing out. But then on the other hand,
but it's like the jawline is more like you see someone with one leg. You see a handicapped person.
Okay.
You don't laugh at them,
yeah.
right? It's just because you know, like out of good manner, you don't do that.
Right.
So I think the jawline thing is like if you know they're going through transition, that's why they look like that. You probably should not be laughing at that because it's like they're going through a tough time. Just like people with one leg, they're going through a tough time. They're on the way to heal.
No, but they can never get rid of that, I guess.
They could.
It's part of their makeup. Yeah, they need some surgery for that.
Yeah, but the end goal is to get rid of that.
But it's like you knew what was going to happen when you went and did that.
But still, they're struggling so bad inside. It's like
the person who got the amputation on their leg or is missing a leg, they didn't know they were going to do that, or they were born with that. So it's not the same thing. Like, that's why people are laughing at it, because these people are going in and doing this stuff and then still having these little situations, and that's when they're laughing.
I'll give you 10 years.
I'm gonna need 10 years. I'm sorry. I'm gonna need 10 years. Like, as far as that joke, I don't think there's no need to justify that. I think that's cool. But as far as somebody saying like Team KKK or Team Turban and all that, I don't think that would be cool, depending on whatever little part of side y'all are.
Right.
Like who's somebody that y'all really dislike? What's the dude that y'all said that you didn't like, that's the reason they canceled Marvel in China?
Oh, Fu Manchu?
Yeah. So when somebody was like, yeah, I'll Team Fu Manchu, goddamn.
But most Chinese people don't even know that, because it's so like an Asian American thing.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I understand, it's like, yeah, it's like you can't say certain thing and expect the people that you're offending to be like laughing with you.
Yeah.
Because it's not funny to them.
Okay. Let's get it.
Is when people see these kind of jokes and they say they are harmful, they are dangerous, they are hate speech. I'm like, whoa, now we go into a different realm. I'm not even mad if you looked at it and said, I think that's transphobic. You can say that.
Yeah, you can say that.
Right? The same way somebody can look at a joke and say, that shit's racist. I'm not mad at that. What I can't stand in a lot of this rhetoric is like, a lot of folks say like, words are violence and this is violence. And they're saying it contributes to a culture of violence. They're saying that trans women are being killed. These people...
There's the point right there.
What did he say?
That's what they're actually saying, that it leads to actual literal physical violence. We're not talking about verbal.
Oh.
Literal physical violence. So now do you understand what I'm saying?
No, but again, violence can be different forms. I stand by my point.
Okay, have your little point then.
A little point? Little point?
Have your
My
little
point has
then.
to be micro?
Have it.
My huge point.
making these jokes and they're linking these things oftentimes.
Caricatures, stereotypes, and misconceptions that hurt trans people, that get our rights taken away, that get us beaten and murdered by people whose only information on trans people comes from people like Dave Chappelle. There are ways that you can joke about trans people without making the punchline of the joke the fact that we're trans.
I can, but I don't have to. That's the thing. That's the thing. Yes, you're absolutely right on that. The same thing for black people.
I don't think it leads to all that. I think that people were gonna do what they were gonna do anyway. Like, I don't think that people were watching Dave Chappelle was like, man, I'm gonna go. What's the dude's name from Walking Dead? I'm gonna go him on a couple T's.
I think the one of the thing about these like celebrities making jokes, like comedians, is like because their jokes are being widely spread, people start talking about them, and then people start to think it's okay to joke about certain like communities or certain parties, like race and stuff like that, right? So that's like one huge influence those people have. But I think Dave Chappelle is not like abusing it, because I feel like he's trying to like, didn't he mention like one of his like transgender friend or something? So he's definitely trying to balance it so he doesn't overdo it. But I do understand that it can be like concerning for the T-gender community, because to them it's almost like encouraging people to make jokes against that community.
Yeah, but is it encouraging them to go hurt people? Or they were already having that in their head? Regardless of what he said, I think you already had that in your head if you're going to go ahead and go hit about it.
But you know, like one thing, like after Donald Trump became the president of the US, one thing that happened was racially based hate crime. It just like rocketed after he became the president, because if our country's president is saying it's okay to be racist, then why are we hiding behind the door? We should go onto the street and beat the crap out of those, you know?
But they were already feeling it though.
Yeah, they were feeling it, but they need someone to fuel onto their rage. And sometimes it's just, you know, simple as this.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
My dad said back when he lived in the hood and everything, he said a gay dude would be walking down the street and folks would just automatically they already would be ready to try. Like he said, they'd throw your bricks at you and everything. Yeah. Like you F.
I know.
Just cause.
I saw that on SVU too.
Yeah.
It's like the drag queen being like.
So I don't, like, they didn't have nobody in they face like, yeah, get these G's. Get these
But
ass.
it's also because people around you are doing it, so you feel like it's okay. Because if everyone's doing it, there's nothing wrong with it, right?
So
it
you're
can be.
inspired.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can make fun of black people without making the fact that they're black. You can. You don't have to. It's not a have.
Or sometimes, you know what's funny? I'm not gonna lie to you. That whole like niggas in the dark and sometimes all you can see is their teeth. Corny, repetitive, but if it's done creatively enough, you can laugh at the fact that someone's really. I remember the first time I heard Dave Chappelle say, "Oh, look, darkness falls, everybody." Who was he talking about? Charlie Murphy. Because he was so dark.
Yeah.
You can make that shit funny.
Yeah.
You can laugh about people's blackness, the tone to their skin, their large lips, their whatever. All of these things can be funny,
think
provided
that's
we have
okay?
the right circumstance.
I think it's okay. I think.
To laugh at, like, if I'm a different race, I'm laughing at black people's, like, big lips. I don't think that's okay.
Okay.
That's not okay.
I don't know. I guess I'm thinking about it from like a black dude saying, like, I'm thinking like Michael Blackson talking about some. Yes, this beach. He had his teeth. The only thing I could see in the dark, and then his mouth.
Yeah,
he had his big mouth.
It's okay when you're dark too because you're essentially laughing at yourself.
Yeah.
But it's not okay if I'm saying that because I'm laughing at a different race and it's an appearance they can't really change. Then isn't that me being like racist or something?
What are you saying exactly?
The same thing. If I'm saying something like, "Oh, look at them, they're so dark, you can't even see them at nighttime."
Okay. What if he's saying like, yeah, man, you and me, my friend, we were out there. Yeah, man, because we've been friends 20 years. And man, we were out there in the back playing Madden and watching the football game. And then he walked up, man, I thought it was going to hurt me. And all I could see was his teeth and his eyes. That still would be kind of racist?
Yeah, you're a white guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if that is his best friend for real. Still.
If you tell that to your friend and your family and your friend's family,
but not for public consumption.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
All right. What if a comedian gets on the stage, he start putting an Asian guy accent, like, yeah, you say you want to do this, but he starts saying that kind of stuff. Would that be funny, or would that be like too much?
I think that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because
that's okay.
a lot of Asian people do have that accent. If you're not mimicking that accent to purposely like bash or like dirt talk or what do you call it? To bash certain people, then it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I guess you were saying like, yeah, I did that. Then I came to a shop for 20 years, and then I did that. And I mean, and then you said that's how he always talked.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. Like you said, like, yeah, man, Mr. Kim was always in there saying like, yeah, you go pick this up now. And it's like I came to a shop for 20. I've been coming there since I was a little kid or something. That would be okay then.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
But if he's just saying like, yeah, they always talk with broken English and expect you to understand.
Yeah, that's not okay.
All right.
What I will say is really important, this whole thing. Just because the person doesn't do a good job with the joke, it does not mean it's inherently a problem. Just because the joke is unfunny, or you deem it's like, yo, it's not funny, it's hateful. Just because it's that doesn't mean it's a real issue.
But that joke contributes to colorism in Haiti.
Is he from Haiti?
I know the intent. Okay? Right? Just good jokes and bad jokes, funny jokes and unfunny jokes, they all come from the same place.
In your brain.
Alright? So people have to separate what's funny.
Alright, man. We only got to a little bit of the video, so we'll share the video with y'all, man. But we're gonna cut it short right there. But anyway, what he's saying at the end, he was saying you know, everybody, I guess you don't have to laugh at it and everything. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, yeah, they can say the joke, but you don't have to laugh about it, and it's just like, it is what it is. Like, so somebody did say, yeah, I was trying to understand what she was saying, but she was like, no, I don't understand for our eyes, or something like that.
Yeah,
would that be like, oh, we as the Asian people should go Voltron and like, yeah, we're not gonna mess with that, or should it be like, all right, man, it was no harm, no foul? See,
that's the thing. I feel like a lot of times people feel that way. It's like, oh, it's just a silly joke.
Yeah.
You leave it alone.
Yeah.
And then you leave it alone, and people start to like test your limit.
Yeah.
They start to kind of like be more aggressive. And so it's like, you have to set your boundaries.
Like when you're around those friends and you act like you do something that's dumb, and then you allow them to say that one time, and then they kind of start slowly saying you're stupid.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like, I mean, I guess like I hate to bring them back, but Fresh and Fit. Like Myron calls Fresh ugly or says stuff like this. Like, you can't do this, and Now you see how he told him, get your ass to the side. Stupid.
Or like for people who are dating interracially, right? It's
Yeah.
like if you're a black guy or a black girl and you let your other partner call you the N-word,
Right.
but the one ending with the A, right?
Yeah.
Because you think that's less harmful.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, next time you guys are fighting, he or she's using all those racial slurs against you. Because people push your limit. People will always be testing your limit.
Yeah.
If you let them step over your
That's
boundaries.
real.
Yeah.
But does she have a case in the end, or is she just like, you doing too much? Was Dave Chappelle's comedy special that bad? He had a couple jokes in there that were like, all right, man, we can see like where you come from, but was it really that bad?
I feel like, again, because I don't belong to the T community, so I don't find it offensive personally.
Okay.
But again, it's like they're the only one that can say if it's offensive to them or not, right? Just like if someone made a racial joke against black people, right? Other races can be like, yeah, this is racist or not, you know, like, but you guys are the only one that can actually say if it's offensive or not.
Does it make Dave Chappelle cancelable?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
All right. So yeah, so I guess she doesn't really have a case.
But I do feel like he can be like, you know, like, oh, I'm happy to adjust some of the jokes, but he doesn't have to change the whole script because some of them are
Right. So yeah, we're empathetic, but at the same time, yeah, we're not gonna give it to y'all.
Because I do understand this, like, for those people who are transitioning, you know, we do want them to have a safe space.
Yeah.
Because first of all, they don't look pretty already, so we at least want them to feel safe in this community.
What about the ones who just say that they are, and then they're not transitioning and shit? They're just walking around with tight pants and skirts.
Oh, so they're not even taking the hormones. They're just like,
because you got a lot of those. Like I told you, around the corner from where I live on Piedmont Road, it's nothing but straight up down the street. I don't even like to run over there because they always say something.
I need 20 years for those people.
Yeah, you need 20 years,
I need
right?
20 years.
Yeah.
I need 20 years.
Yeah, man. So yeah, y'all let us know what y'all think down in the comments below, man. Just something different, man. We're gonna try to talk about some different stuff, man. Besides Fresh and Fit, man. We don't want to talk about them for real, but if they do something stupid, we will come back.
I hope they don't. I'm tired of them.
We will come.
Oh,
well,
man.
I'll come back for sure. But anyway, man. Yeah. If y'all watched us to this point, man, have a great day. Appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you next time.